Yesterday on America Day, and happy Independence Day, long weekend, by the way. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the festivities as you are so inclined to. And Marvel decided to imbibe in the season by actually making a smart decision in regards to their upcoming Captain America film. But that's about where the good decision praise is going to conclude, because this film in general, Brave New World, we got to get at least the most accurate nomenclature as to the movie that we're dealing with at this point in time, because who even knows if this is going to be the final design of Captain Black Falcon America Man. I mean, like, the costume itself, okay, if we're doing an assessment on simply the threads on display, yeah, it's not bad. Okay, it's definitely better than a bunch of the other iterations that we've seen, especially from that incredibly poor Disney Plus show. Does anybody remember Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Like, that came out how many years ago at this point in time? But yeah, that costume right there, it's a bit audacious and really does jump off the screen at you, but at least it integrates the Falcon aspects that are there, because, okay, what do you have here? Okay, what do you have with the newest still from Brave New World? Well, it just harkens back, and it's just going to remind everybody that this is just a tokenized Captain America. Shout out to Eric July for that term. But yeah, it looks very similar to the Winter Soldier costume, the Civil War era Captain America, but when people see that, okay, yeah, they're going to be reminded of better times in the MCU, and that we're not dealing with the same Captain America, the same thing that befell comic book readers when, yeah, Sam Wilson was trotted out there as Captain America, and what ended up happening? Well, Steve Rogers had to come back and be Captain America because that run was failing, and that's ultimately what's going to happen here. It's a poor decision in the comics, and it's going to be a poor decision for the MCU because, well, everybody knows that this is going to be a disaster, okay? When it ultimately comes out, February of next year, even though this has been on the books for how many years at this point in time? Okay, because I keep wanting to call it that, but it's not. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was the second D+ show to come out, okay? After WandaVision, what was it? At the tail end of 2021, this atrocious, politically charged slop came out. Very few people remember it. Even fewer people reference it. And so you're trying to pick up the momentum of this rebooted, refocused Phase 5 for Marvel. You're falling into all of the same trappings that caused you to lead to this soft reboot, because no way it makes profit with that kind of budget, because now we're starting to get some numbers. And to compare and contrast that with other revelations in previous iterations of the MCU, you kind of know that these numbers that we are finally getting, well, they seem eerily similar to something that we've seen before. And spoilers, they're all lies, dude. Okay, even Harrison Ford's Red Hulk can't save Captain America 4, as Disney reportedly spends Avengers-level money on the movie. Yeah, because, okay, cool. You have Red Hulk, which is one of the most iconic versions of Hulk in a Captain America movie. That's going to be weird how he's going to square off against a Captain America who doesn't have super soldier serum. How's he going to stand up to a Red Hulk? Don't know. I'm sure it'll make a lot of sense when you see the movie, for sure. And then also, in these current round of reshoots, which has led to this ballooned budget that is completely and totally out of control, battling only Gladiator 2 for the loosest purse strings ever afforded to a project, you had to add in a tertiary villain as well in order to make this make sense on your third iteration. Like, what the hell is going on here? And look at everything else that's coming out in Phase 5. You've already tried to distance the Fantastic Four away from this schlock by saying, it takes place in an alternate universe. So they're going to find a way. It's not called the Phantom Zone. I forget what they call it in Marvel. But it's supposed to be a period piece set in the 60s. It's like, that could be fun. That could be cool. Even with the big generic specter of Pedro Pascal hanging over the top of it, where it's like, yeah, if you do a good Fantastic Four, that would be something that we have never seen. Okay, you bring in Marvel's first family. How are you going to screw it up? Oh, right, female Silver Surfer. Oh, great, so you're going to get modern day trappings. Once again, ruining the MCU. Where have we seen this before? Oh, right, let's focus back on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah, you bring in Gus Fring at the 11th hour. Oh, Giancarlo Esposito, sorry. He plays the exact same character. That especially whenever Disney brings him in. Well, just take a look at what he's doing. What is it, Moff Gideon over there on The Mandalorian? It's Gus Fring in space. Okay. What is Leslie Headland, or as she's affectionately referred to in these corners of the internet, Lesbian Headlamp. What was her big inspiration for the opening shot of The Acolyte, Breaking Bad? All of these guys are hacks, man. They all come out of the Rick and Morty school and get way too much leeway in a creative sense, or they fall off of the Breaking Bad camp and screw a bunch of shit up. Look no further than Rian Johnson, right? Not understanding that these creatives might have done good things for their respective franchises, but they had visionaries over the top of them, directing them out in appropriate ways. But now, when they don't have a visionary looking in over the top, they just simply have a middleman running back and forth, trying to put out fires here, there, and everywhere. Well, you can see their actual talent on display, and well, they somehow seem to think that an 80-year-old Harrison Ford and refried villain of the week is somehow going to come in and save a Captain America reboot. You've got so many problems. This thing is never going to be profitable. It's never going to take off with the public outside of maybe memery and mockery. But then you throw on another aspect of a astronomically huge budget, and brother, we're back to where we were in 2023. It's like Disney's not going to learn a damn thing. Okay, some fans got to see Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson meeting Harrison Ford's President Thunderbolt Ross in Captain America 4 at San Diego Comic-Con. However, the reports coming out of the film are not good news for Kevin Feige or Marvel. The film reportedly spent a budget of $350 to $375 million. Holy Christ. The inflated budget comes after extensive reshoots that were ordered after the film received terrible scores during test screening. And that was after the film was reshot a second time. So this is the third iteration, the second title. And how many times has it been shuffled along the release schedule? This thing is doomed. But the last time we heard a reported budget like this, okay, it was Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, right? Oh, a smash bang hit, and it was so successful. Michael Waldron, who came from the Rick and Morty school, got all the credit in the world for that film, making, what was it, $900 million? Didn't quite break $1 billion, but it did excessively well. And he got promoted, and now he's going to be writing the Avengers films. How great. But yeah, we were told that film ended up costing somewhere in the realm of I think it was $310 to $350, somewhere in that range, okay? But then when we actually seen the tax documentation, because they got those tax credits over there in the UK, they ended up spending north of $400 million. When you factor that in, Doctor Strange, even as successful as it was, didn't end up turning a profit. Oopsie daisy. And because this one is shooting in, I think Atlanta? Never going to get the tax documents revealed, but you already know. If they had to shoot an entire Marvel movie, not once, not twice, but thrice, you think that budget is going to be as reasonable as $350 to $375 million? Get out of here. In the film titled Brave New World, or at least what it is right now, Sam Wilson looks to become a worthy successor of Steve Rogers. But I thought that's what Falcon and the Winter Soldier was exploring. But now they have to bring it to the silver screen because nobody remembers that show. All right. Donning the Captain America mantle besides Ford and Mackie, the film will also star Liv Tyler, Shariah Haas, Tim Blake Nelson, Carl Lumby, and Danny Ramirez. Yeah, okay, fantastic. And we know nothing about this at all whatsoever other than, hey, Harrison Ford is going to be old and then he's going to get CGI'd into being the Red Hulk. Isn't that fantastic? We've seen leaks, okay, from whatever iteration of the script that is out there, and it's highly charged in a certain direction, okay? There are some allusions to the storming of a certain capital. There's a scene that may or may not set up what the Avengers are eventually going to look like, and then Captain America just ends up not inspiring them at all whatsoever, and there's going to be a bunch of cameos that are going to be in it of characters that people don't really care about because they were all introduced in Marvel Stage 4 that nobody can really remember at all whatsoever. But hey, look, there's Shang-Chi over there because Simu Liu was such a difficult get in today's day and age. But it'll be interesting, man, right? Because, yeah, okay, I guess it's still coming out during Black Black History Month, and next year, it's a shocker on that one. It'll be interesting, man, because from the people that have seen test screenings, and now that the promotion cycle for Deadpool and Wolverine is starting up right now, things are pointing in a good direction. Okay, Disney definitely on an upswing, just going to show you that, yeah, there's not a fatigue that's out there in regards to superheroes. Okay, if you make good things, people are going to go. If you make apolitical children's content, you end up with Inside Out 2 breaking $1 billion. It's not that difficult, man. All it takes is just simply learn the lessons that are right out there and obvious for you to learn. But here we are talking about Disney, and here we are with the perfect example of you're going to go ahead and look a gift horse in the mouth and then purposefully cripple it while it's standing in the stall waiting for race time. It's almost unbelievable. But hey, like I've said multiple times over, when you're in the content creation space, you know what? It's often difficult to find interesting topics to talk about day in, day out. But at least with this situation, looking ahead to February of next year, you do like a little bit of job security every once in a while. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.